Viewers and players, let's play Double Jeopardy. Now, contestants, the categories of the 50s, odd lots, Shakespeare, women, explorers and explorations, and actors in their roles. Players, there are 2 daily doubles concealed somewhere on that board. And
this is the Spud Goodman Show.
Yes, that familiar theme music warns you that it's time once again for the Spud Goodman Radio Show with Chick Hunter. 60 minutes of audio on the internet. And now, to start things off, here is the studio orchestra of the Spud Goodman Show, Accordion Joe.
He calls to you who, the social outcast. Yes, you who are rejected. He wants you, he needs you, he loves you. Here comes the Spud Man, he goes down easy. Here comes the Spud Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Here he is, the head cheese meister of the World Wide Web. It's Spud Goodman.
Greetings, I am Spud Goodman. Please feel free to kick off the shoes, throw on some sweatpants that maybe have seen better days, and yeah, take whatever old concert tour t-shirt is handy out for a spin. Even the one you're now maybe a little too embarrassed to wear out in public, no worries.
Like Journey.
Because no one's ever going to see you outside of your family and, you know, maybe the pets that are hanging around the house. That's the cool thing about radio. Like right now, I'm wearing the same clothes from yesterday. I had a tough night last night, okay? I mean, who would know? I guess if I hadn't opened up my big mouth.
I thought you wore those clothes yesterday. Thanks for clearing that up. Is that why I couldn't reach you on your cell all day today?
It's a long story. Let's just change the subject. I suppose I should introduce you, right?
That would be nice.
Okay, fine. Give a tepid welcome to my longtime co-host, Mr. Chick Hunter.
So, Spud, are you really going to do what you talked about in the staff meeting? Maybe this is not the right time to bring it up, but since
Probably
you don't
not.
answer when I call anymore, this might be my only chance for a while to ask.
You really want to discuss this on the air?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of boring.
No, it's not.
I mean, I can hear the mouses clicking away from the show even before I bring it up.
Well, from what you said, I think our listeners would be very interested in what you mentioned, as it could save them a boatload of money, too.
Anybody who actually reads a newspaper knows about this. It's not a secret.
Really?
And I didn't say it was a good idea either. I just said that a friend of my mom, some financial analyst, told her I should consider tax inversion.
Oh.
I haven't done, anything yet, and I can't lie, it just feels a little slimy to even think about doing it, but there are some advantages.
You told me that companies can save millions if they do this.
I know, but we don't make any money right now, at least not enough to do this. The guy was talking about being proactive for when we finally make it big with this show and revenue starts flowing in. Do we really want to pay the going 35% corporate tax rate?
Oh, that would be so cool to finally be a corporation. There's still people too, right? I mean, that would mean we would be rich people,
no,
right?
Not necessarily. Right? There are plenty of corporations that lose tons of money and go out of business. We already are incorporated anyway. But if we do start to make a bunch of cash, then what are we going to do? I guess that's what the guy was saying. The friend of my mom said that, that we should maybe think about making the move right now. Right now. He suggested Belize is our new home.
Nothing against Belize, but I don't want to move there, at least not for the full year. I would miss the holiday season, Spud. No Thanksgiving Day football games on TV, no Christmas strolls at the mall, no rocking in the New Year with Ryan Seacrest.
Well, first of all, they do have cable TV in malls in Belize.
They do?
Secondly, we wouldn't actually be moving there. It would just be like a paperwork kind of deal. We would still be Americans and could still stay here and continue to live our lives. But, we would be free of all those financial obligations in this country. We would just, all we have to do, he said, we just need to merge with some tiny company there, maybe a bait shop or a fruit stand. He just said offer him a couple $100 and someone will jump at it.
And we don't have to pay taxes at all? Wow, that would be great, right?
Well, I haven't thought it through totally yet, and I don't know all the facts, but if there's even a chance we're going to be rich, this is pretty tempting to consider.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to pay taxes? We could talk about this later. Right now, it's time for some music. So here's Elvez, who performed this song live on my show many years ago. Here is Rock and Roll Suicide.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger and another finger, then your cigarette. The wall-to-wall is calling, it lingers, then you forget. Ho, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide. There must be lights shining brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers were hand in hand, tell me why, tell me why, tell me why won't my dream come true? Whoa, why? There must be peace and understanding sometimes. Strong words of courage that will blow away the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun, whoa, keep shining on everyone. Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why won't that sun shine through? Wow! We're trapped in a cloud with too much rain. We're caught in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly high, high, high. Deep in my heart, there's a beckoning question. Still I'm certain that the answer's gonna come someday. Out there in the darkness, there's a beckoning candle. Oh, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can speak, while I can talk, while I can dream. Please let my dream come true.
This is the Spud Goodman Radio Show.
Hey, this is Tony Dow from the Leave It to Beaver Show, and you are listening to the Spud Goodman Show, which is kind of a goofy thing to be doing, but hang in there.
Hey, Spud, the Spud phone's ringing.
Super. Well, I hope it's him. Please say hello to friend of the show, Mr. Hal Sparks. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Let's look back on this year politically. It seems to me the top story was that anti-American beige and/or tan suit our president wore in public a while ago.
Of all the threats that exist in our modern world, I think the shift from blue to beige is one of the biggest dangers in the world. The ironic part that this was probably a bone to the House representatives, that they would have preferred an actual president that color. So I think he was just trying to help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? It's almost nostalgia. Remember when our presidents used to be a kind of beige color, and they, oh yeah, I feel a lot better talking to him because he's like 90% beige right now. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, he was reaching across the aisle.
Were you surprised that the world markets didn't collapse at that point on that when he actually showed in public with that on?
No, I've realized that the idea that world markets can collapse is a bunch of crap. After all we've been through, including, you know, from the original depression to the mild repression of 2008 and what have you, that every time we talk about crashes and the market bottom falling out, the ironic part that we're talking about, like, a loss of 20% and everybody panics because only trillionaires have that kind of care. You know what I mean? Only billionaires care about that extra 3%. Like that.
What?
When the market goes down,
nice to know.
I hope the mic didn't pick it up. I'm sorry.
And so I don't think the markets are ever going to crash. I think that's the biggest lie being sold currently, is that this machine doesn't even need humans anymore. That the market itself is all run by robots and laptops, and everything is bought and sold based on that. It has nothing to do with how good the product of the companies is, whether or not they're innovating, whether the employees are coming to work or not, whether they're drunk on the job and dropping monkey wrenches into the transmissions of cars, whether there's 100 recalls. Nothing's going to crash the market permanently. It's all just going to be a waiver to scare rich people.
Wow. Chick, you writing this down?
I am.
Maybe we can jump into the market then. We were a little scared.
No crash.
You want to do it on a reset. That's the other trick they don't teach, is that every time we quote unquote have a crash, that's just to clear out the suckers. And all rich people do is buy like crazy. They usually get out of the market right before it's going to fall, because anybody can tell if you've got like I said, if your laptop has a robot piece of software doing your trading for you. They all know to get out like 10 minutes before the crap hits the fan. And then we're all sitting there with all of our retirement in the markets, our thumb up our butt going, I think they make pretty good laptops. And then the whole thing falls apart, and they just buy more stock because we've lost everything. It's such a game.
That's
and it's not even chess or Othello. It's like Connect 4. And the bigger it gets, the dumber the machinery gets.
Okay, super. So Hal, I got to ask you, your own radio. You have your own radio show now. You've been in radio for quite a while, but you're doing a show. It's out of Chicago. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
No, I'm from Chicago, so
Gotcha.
I went to high school there, and it's my hometown.
So tell us about the radio show.
It's it's 2 hours of political talk. It's basically what I just did, only stretched out over 2 hours with commercial breaks.
There you go.
But essentially, it's just, I think, sort of a bit of the missing take on stuff. I think the big difference in the show, besides some sort of measured enthusiasm about the progress of humanity and some actual thought about it, is that we always end the show with a happy ending, because everybody loves a happy ending.
Yes, they do.
And so we throw in, kind of positive news at the tail end of the show to remind everybody that life is going to continue. As bad as stuff is, or as much as you have to fight a bad bill or a bad politician or whatever, and it does matter one to one. I'm not one of these people who believes you can check out and not vote and all that crap. But you gotta, you also have to take it in perspective. You can't be in panic mode all the time, or you make the kind of decisions panicked people make.
What I want to ask you is, where can our listeners find your show?
Usually, nationwide it's on like the iHeart radios and that kind of stuff. You can listen to it on apps like crazy, but you can also go to chicagosprogressivetalk.com or you can listen to it on my website. I stream it live on my website and on YouTube.
Okay.
Which is now how people are digesting nearly everything.
Right. Right. Well, let me ask you this too. In terms of acting, you starred in Queer as Folk years ago on Showtime. It was a groundbreaking series. Everybody would agree with that. If it was done today, could you see any differences in show content or storylines? Or just curious.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've obviously come a long way as a country in regard to our attitude towards this. And I think, interestingly enough, the show had something to do with that. So if you remove it and you move it forward, you basically, to some degree, push the progress down the road a little way. Because I always said that the benefits of Queer as Folk and the part that made it useful socially and politically, would be felt 4 years after it went off the air. That's when you'd start feeling the effects, because the people who watched it, especially who were young and snuck into, to watch it when their parents were asleep and that kind of stuff, which happened a bunch, those people would be old enough to vote later, or would be in college, or would be out of college and into, their own lives and making their own political decisions. And then you look at where we are in the kind of scheme of things, that's exactly the timing that happened. So I think it would have just pushed those 4 years till we finished, whatever it was. That being said, I think it's a different show entirely if you start it right now.
Right.
But the struggles are still the same, because I don't know any straight person who would feel like they could rest or feel comfortable in their rights and what was available if you only had rights in less than half of the states in this country. Like, that would be bizarre to you and me. It's like, if you could only be in a relationship as a straight person in less than half of the country, you'd go, that's absurd. There's no constitution here. There's no baseline freedoms I can count on of any sort. If I can be fired or not be allowed to rent or, any of these things just because of who I am genetically, mechanically, why don't you just start discriminating based on height while you're at it? You have to be this height or higher to be an American. Like, it's silly. So, I mean, obviously there's a long way to go. There's and a lot of it has to do with old people dying. And because they won't let go.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm going to be racist, bigoted, or homophobic my entire life, so you're just going to have to wait me out till I'm, and I'm still in the House of Representatives. So I'm going to hang on for dear life, and that's that.
So, Hal, I'm considering taking advantage of that tax inversion deal that so many American corporations are going for these days because, hey, maybe merging our little production company with a taco or fruit stand in, say, Belize, you can save a bundle of dough, man. Have you given any thought to being a greedy, unpatriotic carpetbagger, too?
I would love to, except there's no way to invert talent to an offshore thing. That's why we as artists are screwed. That's how they're getting around with it. You can make a cardboard burger.
Do you really floss every night?
You're gonna ask me this now?
Well, the lady at my dentist office who cleaned my teeth yesterday sort of yelled at me for never flossing.
Yes, I do floss. Now zip it.
I thought you did. I'm such a loser.
Damn, Chicky's using logic. God, I hate that.
Yeah, I can't follow it.
Yeah.
All right, super.
Nope. Yeah, sorry. You can't just bail on America. I won't stand for it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of paying taxes because of what we get for it. If you look at places like Yemen, Somalia, places like that, they got a real tax problem over there. There's none of that taxes going anywhere. And we can say most of ours, too much of it goes to the military or too much of it goes to the military, and not enough goes to roads and whatever. You can argue that. But at the same time, you also have to understand that the fact that we do collect it and we are able to use it at all is nearly a miracle on this planet amongst, like 12 countries that manage that part of it pretty well, and we're one of them.
Yeah, the military thing, though, really, the truth is, doesn't really go so much to the military in terms of payroll for manpower. It goes to corporations.
Oh, not at all.
Toys, really.
It's ridiculous. Look at John Boehner's district. Here's Mr. We're going to reform government. We're the Tea Party Republicans, where you think government is too big and it spends too much of your money on stupid stuff. P.S. I'm going to take a big payment back to the Abrams tank factory in my district to build an additional weapon system to stack on top of the Abrams, even though the Army's not going to use it anymore. Yeah. They're basically declassifying or decommissioning the Abrams tank. And then
ow, Spud, my head hurts.
McCain's
what are you talking about?
He keeps talking about the economy and Republicans and war and everything. And I can't keep up.
Don't be a pussy. Look, I got a job to do here. Just zip it. Zip it. Okay, so once again, Hal, I want to thank you so much for checking in with us. Hal, we consider you a friend of the show. We very much appreciate you taking the time out of your really busy day and evening to check in with us. So can we
pleasure.
Can we talk with you again sometime?
I insist.
All right, we got that. That's on tape, pal.
Yeah. Should come down and we'll just do a sit-in at one of the shows too. That'll work.
Okay, then, Mr. Hal Sparks, we just wish you the best, and we hope to talk to you again.
I insist. All right, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, you too. Talk good. Bye.
You know, I think gay people should have the right to get married. I mean, because because the argument against it is probably the dumbest argument I've ever heard against anything in my life, which is basically, well, you can't have gay marriage. That will ruin heterosexual marriage. What? Look, the only way that gay marriage could ruin your heterosexual marriage is if you're gay. That's the only way it could break you up.
For all who love beautiful music, there's one program you must hear.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
All right, it's musical guest interview time. Please say hello to Shotgun Kitchen. All right, Shotgun Kitchen members, please expose your public identities and the instrument you play for our listeners.
So I'm going to introduce our band. On the bass, we have the lovely and talented Ricky Gonzalez. On the washboard, we have Jason Emmett. And on the cajon, we have Johnny Summers. Erica Bellinger on the violin. Sophie Lute on vocal, and Jessica Churchill on vocal. And I'm Joe on guitar.
Super. All right.
Hey,
a review of the song titles from your new album, White Trash Soul, indicates a relationship with a common man, a celebration of life. Describe the average Shotgun Kitchen fan.
Well, we play soul music for people that know what government cheese is, you know, people who live out on the urban fringe or have that state of mind, I would say.
Super. I think my co-host and I can relate to that. That's right now. I mean, we're going to be very rich soon, and but right now we can relate.
I can smell that coming.
What is the band's official position on Walmart? Evil corporate menace or a home away from home?
Actually, it is an evil corporate menace, and we only visit there with Molotov cocktails.
That's off the record.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the band's...
Good call, yo.
Yeah. What is the band's favorite flavored Dorito? A nice bag of Doritos. What are you going to choose when you go in
I'll
the
have
store?
to divert that question. Jason, do you have an opinion on that?
Shame.
All right, super.
It's
All
a
right.
shame.
Gotcha. Well, right now, tell us the title of the first song you're going to be performing.
We're going to do a song called Meth Lab from our new album, White Trash Soul.
Well, let me just hold this up for our video shooter here right now. So here we go. A tune from Shotgun Kitchen from their brand new album, White Trash Soul. It's very tasty. Everyone should check it out.
My baby left me for another guy. She dug it because he had a meth lab in that double wide. Trailer down the street. In that trailer down the street. She traded my loving for some meth. Amphetamine. Well, she chewed up my heart, spit it out, and it went splat. Then she said, let's still be friends. When a meth lab gives her everything she needs. But this ain't government cheese, it's meth. Amphetamine. They say that bad girls don't go to heaven. That must be why you've been so mean. You're afraid that in heaven there's no methamphetamine. But someday you'll only get it, baby. You can be sure of that. 'Cause you've been bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, bad, bad. You maxed up all my credit cards and stole all my cash. When you wished for a white Christmas, I didn't know you meant white trash. Like that red flag in that trailer down coma. I trust only two. One of them is me, and the other one ain't you. And your meth lab in that trailer down the street. You traded all my loving for some meth. Amphetamine. They say that bad girls don't go to heaven. That must be why you've been so mean. You're afraid that in heaven there's no methamphetamine. But someday you'll only get it, baby. You can't be sure of that. 'Cause you've been bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, bad, bad. You've been bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, bad, bad. You've been bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, bad, bad. You've been bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, baby, bad, bad, bad. How could a love as big as Texas seem so small compared to meth? Just like they do in Texas. You sentenced it to death in that meth lab. In that trailer down the street. You traded all my loving for some meth. Amphetamine. Now I'm chilling with my Jill in the great Northwest. While you're tweaking with that freak in the place you love the best. In that meth lab, in that trailer down the street. You traded all my loving for some meth. Amphetamine.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
Don't touch that mouse. Spud and Chick will be right back after this brief intermission.
Spud could have done let me in tears. Spud could have done let me for drinking my beers. He takes the spatula and puts it in the pan. And why he done that, I just don't understand. He grabs some Pepto for quick relief. His indigestion is beyond belief. Spud Goodman! Spud Goodman! Spud Goodman Show!
We now return to more action-packed thrills and excitement on the Spud Goodman Radio Show.
Hey, Spud, they just told me that guy's calling again. You know, the one who always bitches about us not playing enough Southern rock.
Really? I was wondering what happened to that dude. He hasn't called in a couple months. I thought he was maybe like doing time in jail or he fell in a well or something. Put him on. Put him on.
Are you going to play some Southern rock for him?
What do you think?
Oh.
Hey, caller, are you there? Caller.
Yeah.
What are you using, a 2-cent toy phone? Are you there or not? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm here. Thought I'd listen to your show tonight. See if you wised up. Guess not.
That is messed up, yo.
Well, if you mean, am I still not playing any Molly Hatchet or Charlie Daniels? The answer is no. I'm not. You got any other questions?
Still a little smart-ass punk, huh, Goodman? Well, I know for a fact there are a lot of listeners out there who might give this show a chance if you just played some decent music occasionally. You do realize this country's not all left-wing whack jobs or edgy crap you play.
Look, hey, like I told you before, grunge has been over for a while, man. I still like that music, and I play some of it on the show, but time has marched on. Even here in the Seattle area, we play all kinds of music on this show, even a tiny bit of Southern rock, too.
Hey, is it really necessary to always play that stupid song that I call in?
Pretty much.
Anyway,
Pretty
the band out tonight is not bad, but would it kill them to do a Skinner or 38 Special cover?
I don't know. I'll ask someone in the band. Hey, guys, do you guys play any Skinner or 38 Special?
We don't do covers. How about some Ferlin Husky?
Ferlin's all right, but I was talking about more kick-ass rock, you know. This little Tommy who hosts this show doesn't know anything about music. Have you listened to the crap he plays on the second hour? The post-show report? Total garbage.
You know, what is garbage to some is art to others. I feel quite comfortable in my musical selections for this show. And if you don't care for them, then don't listen to the damn show.
I wish it was that simple. I'm not some half-assed listener. I will not go quietly into the night like a little
really?
pussy. If this is the only show I call in, something needs to be done to bring back the greatest era in American music from the late 70s and early 80s, when Southern rock ruled the airways. If I don't lead this fight,
the game has changed.
Someday it'll just fade away into irrelevance, and I won't let this happen.
Well, I think you're a little late on that one. Anyway, I gotta go and do our clip of the week right now. Don't call again for a while, though, all right? You seem to be getting even more annoying, all right? Bye. It's time right now for our clip of the week, courtesy of radio talk show host Brian Fisher. I'm sure most everyone is aware that he and a ton of other concerned citizens and or Obama haters were outraged by our president's choice of suits not that long ago. Evidently, the color of his suit that day cast shame on our great nation. All I can say is I'm in hopes that eventually we'll be able to regain the respect of the world. Again, here is Mr. Fisher on this topic.
Now, you probably heard this soundbite before, but this is the president, and he delivered this in a tan suit. He delivered this in a tan suit yesterday. You probably saw pictures of the tan suit. A lot of buzz about that tan suit. The White House out there defending the tan suit. But I'll tell you my reaction to it. My reaction to the tan suit is that this is a guy that does not take the responsibilities of the tan suit of the presidency seriously. He doesn't take it seriously. I mean, he's talking here about a tan suit. He's talking about a guy that's cutting the tan suit off of American citizens, and he shows up like he just stepped out of a GQ catalog. This is not presidential dress. It's not professional. It's sort of tan suit casual. You know, think about Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan would not even take his tan suit off, his tan suit coat off in the Oval Office. He had that kind of respect for the tan suit. This is a guy that does not take the responsibilities of the tan suit of the presidency seriously.
Once again, here's Spud and Chick. And once again, here's Spud and Chick.
Spud, Wonderboy at the board said he's been getting some calls from listeners in the last few minutes. He said most of them are pissed off at you, mostly about being a leech and not assuming your responsibilities as a citizen of this great country.
I was kind of afraid of that. I never should have let you bring this up live on the air.
Me?
That guy that told me, about this, told me to keep it on the down low. Now
what the hell, Joe?
I know it sounds like I'm some sort of weasel who wants to take from society but not pay my fair share.
I had no idea just signing some paperwork regarding not paying taxes would be such a big deal. I mean, maybe we should talk to one of the people calling it ugly Americans on the air, and then you could diffuse it.
What's with you, Joe, huh?
Maybe later. I'm not up for that right now, all right? No matter how we spin this, I guess it's going to come down to if we're tough enough to handle the backlash from the listeners. Just because they pay federal income tax doesn't mean we have to, I understand people are going to say, hey, you use our roads, our bridges, our government services, so pay up. But those people aren't corporations like we are.
Yeah.
I mean, if everyone started to file paperwork to incorporate and form a company and merge with someone overseas, and then maybe then we might have a problem. But most people aren't smart enough to do that.
That is messed up, yo.
Do you think we'll get death threats like Walgreens did before they chickened out and backed off? I love doing the show, but not enough to die for, right?
Nah. The most blowback we're going to get are maybe some picketers accusing us of being un-American, and maybe there's maybe a few kids throwing some stuff at us when we go out to our cars. Not much you can do when an 8-year-old hits you with a water balloon. You just have to suck it up and turn the other cheek.
Well,
what the hell, Joe?
Please don't say yo.
Our faces on local TV, that's going to really cause a problem for me at home. My parents prefer a low profile in the neighborhood. The more I think about this, the less I want any part of it.
Fuck up here, dude. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. Maybe I do need to think this whole thing through again. That financial advisor can say it's really smart to not pay taxes, but who wants to be like lumped into the same category as Al Qaeda. I mean, Al
Qaeda or Al Qaeda?
I say Al Qaeda. ISIL. Who knows? Who knows? Tomato. Anyway, all I know is I hope the Burger King suits are ready for what's coming their way, or maybe should I say maybe ready for what's not coming their way, like empty drive-thrus. Those places are about to look like a One Direction concert 2 years from now.
Well, I'm gonna hang on to my Harry Styles action figure as it could be worth something.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. All right, right now we need to see if our next guest is on the line.
But I have to take a call. Do you think you can do the next interview yourself? The call's real important. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't.
Yeah, I could handle that.
Okay, I'm just gonna step outside.
No big deal at all. All right, go. Please welcome musician, writer, podcast host, and punk rock legend Mike Watt to the Spud Goodman Radio Show. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Spud, thanks for having me aboard.
Not a problem. I'm a fan. I gotta say that up front. But for those listeners who may not be aware, I should probably give them a brief bit of your music resume, as it is quite extensive and stretches over many years. So, let's do this. In fact, I got to say this before I even begin. While going over your discography, I think that's what they call it in the biz, my mind took an unsolicited break because it needed to reboot, because you're one prolific dude. So let's start at the beginning, why don't we? In your seminal punk rock band, the Minutemen, this band with the late, great D. Boone on guitar, George Hurley on drums, and you on bass. You guys released 4 studio albums and a variety of other side projects. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, we did some side thing, but mainly we were Minuteman. We put out, smaller records, what do you call them, EPs?
Yeah.
I'm not really a musician. I got into music to be with D. Boone, so Minutemen is a result of something we started when we were 12, playing in the bedroom, copying Creedence.
12 years old.
Clearwater Revival.
Wow.
And then learning how to write our own songs after being exposed to the punk movement in the later 70s.
Well, when the Minutemen went into the studio, the story goes that you guys were extremely organized, and when I don't know if this is true, but you're quite thrifty maybe in the process. Did you actually record used tape? Did you really use used tape?
Always use tape. Minutemen never used new tape. We would record in order, so we wouldn't have to spend money on editing. We made them like they were gigs in front of the microphones. We only recorded during the daytime once. A lot of it was this stuff called downtime from midnight to 8. I mean, we were from working people. We didn't have a lot of money, and music things weren't as econo as it is now. Mm-hmm. So we had to do these kind of things to make it possible. We looked at records in those days like flyers. We thought everything, it was so profound going to club gigs, as opposed to the arena rock thing. Mm-hmm. We thought we would just split the whole world into 2 categories. There was gigs and flyers, because the gig was so profound. So everything was to try to get people to the gigs, even making the records. So we would do them every 6 months just to keep in people's minds,
Right. Well, the Minutemen were considered to be one of the most influential bands in punk rock, as you guys chose a large playing field with your music, and like a jazz vibe along with folk and funk and a variety. I mean, you guys definitely weren't able to be like labeled. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we got introduced to the jazz scene from punk people. A lot of those 70s punk people were very deep into music. They were strange characters. Hollywood, it was a small scene. We'd drive up there. It's like 30 miles north of Pedro here. Mm-hmm. And these cats knew about all kinds of different musics. And then there were some other musics, too, that we had grown up learning off their records. So it's kind of a combination of that. For us, you got to understand, punk was never a style of music. That was up to every band. So there could be all kinds of different... Mm-hmm. Some of these bands were crazy. They didn't even have guitars. It wasn't just fast guitar music. That came later with the hardcore thing. At first, it seemed like punk was anything that people had nerve to get up and do in front of other people at these situations.
Well, Mike, your later band Firehose continued on and was quite successful as Ed Crawford came on to join you and George Hurley. He was, from what I hear, he was pretty young when he contacted you to play in the band, right?
Yeah, I didn't know you had to pay to have your number unlisted in the phone book, so he just called and came over.
Right.
Lead star was into U2 and REM, which was trippy because the last tour we did was with REM.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I didn't think anybody wanted to see me play after D. Boone without. And Thurston got me to record on Sonic Youth Evil and then this Ciccone Youth single. So I got into music a little bit. And then, this young guy from Ohio comes over, and I asked Georgie, look, he's got enough nerve to try this, so let's do it. So 7.5 years and 20 tours we did. Things had changed because college people started going to the gigs. Punk had moved from just, the glitter glam thing in the 70s and then hardcore in the early 80s to there's probably, because of REM, it got more into the colleges. And so the audience got bigger. And so, Firehose kind of was in the right place at the right time for that.
Well, Mike, let's bring this conversation now to present day, and let's talk about the new record. What's the title, and where can people find it?
Yeah, Clench Wrench. Gone back to my own label like 30 years ago with D. Boone.
Right.
The label it's on. The name of the album is Canto Segundo, which means the second song. And the band is A Sogno di Marinaio, which means a sailor's dream. It's with two guys from Italy. They're 21 years younger than me. It's trippy for my bass in this context. I'm always trying to make everything classroom, In a way, these guys' students, they're been graduates of universities and avant-garde kind of music and trippy time signatures and stuff, playing with a bow. But it's an interesting place to have my bass, How does it fit in? How does it make this stuff work? Also, it's much different dynamic than maybe the last 10 years where, I've been asked to help the Stooges, do gigs and do Stooges music.
Okay, I have listened to the new record. It's very diverse, very textured. How long in the studio did it take you guys to finish it?
We did it in 8 days back in December in a barn just outside Bologna in the middle of Italy. There's a 200-year-old barn. They put the studio in, and next to it, the farmhouse is where we conked. I never had to leave. Those dudes cooked for me, too.
Wow,
they're good cooks.
Super. No used tape this time, though, huh?
Now you go to a hard drive. Actually, Bruno Germano, the engineer man, before we went to the hard drive, he had us go on to tape. But then that was only like a treatment, right? From the tape, it goes to the hard drive.
Right.
And he likes that saturation sound, so he uses the same reel for everything.
Well, let's. I want to deal further with your take on the music industry because you briefly touched on that. With the soon-to-be deceased multinational record companies maybe going to bite the dust, do you see a future for independent labels at this point to survive? It's pretty tough out there. What's your take on that?
Well, I think in a weird way, the Minutemen, probably because we were learning about vaudeville and these traditions of work in the town. I mean, if you look at the history of music, 99.999% has been about performing. And then being able to put it on a piece of media and sell it, that's only about 100 years. And it looks like they lost that. So I think recordings now, they're important, especially for works, the noun, stuff that you can play after maybe you can't perform anymore because you're dead. That's a very important thing. But as a piece of a market thing, I think it's more now trying to get people to go to gigs and see you play. It's really surprising that kind of paradigm came back. That's the way I see it.
All right.
So I don't see it as a big negative. They can see how you sound. Because things are more econo, there's more bands out there. That means more choice. People should be able to hear, especially if you're got philosophy like mine, which I'm very against genre and labels like this. I think it does the music scene a lot of hurt more than good. So you got to hear everybody.
Well,
Maybe to hear everybody, you can't be buying everything. You do have to just put your net out there and listen.
Right.
I heard YouTube was the biggest source of music these days.
That is accurate. That's what I've been reading also. But, I'd say your career, if that was your goal, you clearly have succeeded because, it speaks for itself.
Well, this is going to be, if you call a tour more than a month, it's going to be my 64th tour. I've been doing this 34 years. I like working the towns. I like being part of vaudeville tradition.
Well said. Well, I want to thank you, Mike, for checking in with us tonight on our show.
Okay, thank you so much there, Spud. You're very kind. You asked me some great stuff.
We will wrap this segment with a little bit of the cut Sailor Blues off the new record. Here it is.
This is the Spud Goodman Show.
It smells really good.
Once again, here is Shotgun Kitchen.
1, 2, buck my shoe. Now
is the Spud Goodman Radio Show.
Okay, so I had to go outside. I had a real important call.
Yeah, I know.
You remember my friend Lawrence I told you about? You remember him. He's my pen pal who was in prison at Pelican Bay in California.
Yeah.
Well, he's ready.
What about him?
He's outside right now, and he's almost ready to come inside. Now, don't freak out or anything, because he's okay.
What? Did the guy jump his parole in California or something? What's he doing in Washington State? Should we call 911?
What? No, Spud. Lawrence is a non-violent offender. Remember, he was convicted for art forgery. He got sent to Supermax at Pelican Bay because the judge didn't like his attorney. He had in court. I don't remember the whole story, but that guy might have slept with the judge's wife or daughter. I forget. You don't have to be afraid for your safety around Lawrence. He's a big teddy bear.
Well, tell the interns to lock the studio door until we're done here.
I sort of promised Lawrence he could be on the air with us.
Inside the studio?
Yeah. But that was why he got the travel permit from his PO to come up here. And we need to pay him when we're done tonight. He needs a paycheck stub or something to verify he's employed on his visit here with us.
We don't pay people around here, at least not in cash. Why did you tell him this? Are you trying to get me shanked or something?
Hey, wait, Lawrence, it's great to see you. We're on the air right now, so just sit over there, and I'll get you situated before the post-show report starts. Okay?
Over here in this chair right here. Put these headphones on?
Yeah, those are...
Wow, cool.
What is he doing? We're still doing our show here. This is not an open house or back to school night, man.
Oh, okay, it's no problem for me to get that pay stub, right? My PO said you're violating me without it.
Yeah, I guess I can write you a personal check or something. If I'm gonna freaking pay you, though, you need to at least help out around here. Why don't you go over by the board over there and help them organize all the CDs from the bands that get sent to the station? There's a huge stack of them over there.
Spud, Lawrence
needs to be cleaned up.
Lawrence is going to be the co-host on the post-show report, but
what?
If he has some spare time, he can help out with other stuff, I guess.
That's so hot.
I just want a job, man. I don't care what I do around here. Thanks so much, Chick, for this opportunity. I just need to get away from Stockton for a while. Things are getting a little too intense,
No, I really don't want to know the specifics on that statement. Life on the streets may be tough, but I have my own problems here. I have a show to do, so please just stay out of my way and please be quiet.
No worries. This is so cool to be on a real radio show.
I don't know about it being a real radio show, but someday we just might be one.
I need to take a brief break here. Hey, anybody listening, there's anybody left? Don't go away, please.
Okay, Lawrence, can I get you something? Water, soda, anything?
Hey, you got any ouzo?
Plus-size models. I am so over supermodels who are skin and bones. They all look like they would kill for 4 stale strawberry scones, or at least elbow someone in the nose for a couple of chocolate-dipped ice cream cones. I'm so over supermodels who are skin and bones, especially since they only date meathead professional athletes with perfect bodies and hair. It's just not fair. We need more plus-size models in all skin tones.
My, how time flies.
All right, I guess the lesson we learned tonight is never, ever take financial advice from a friend of your mother's.
Yeah, but it would have been cool to say I had dual citizenship, whatever that means. Hey, Spud, if we do get rich doing the show, will we have to pay that 35% corporate tax rate by being 100% Americans? I'm not complaining, but that will take a bite out of my disposable income.
Yeah, but I got an email from this guy when the band was playing, and he said, after companies take all sorts of deductions, they usually get millions back from the government, so this tax inversion deal is maybe overhyped. He said a bunch of companies never pay any taxes after they file. And they also get a buttload of dough back in refunds. I think GE got like $1.1 billion.
Whoa, I had to pay $900 last year. I need some tax shelters too, but they're tough to come up with when you live with your parents.
Yeah, you think? I don't know. I think from now on, I'm just going to wait until I'm rich and then figure out later what foreign country I'm going to hide my money in. Why worry about it now?
I know. Being rich would be really cool, but I never really thought about all the decisions you have to make. I don't know for sure if there is a heaven or a hell, but if there is a hell, it's probably going to be full of financial advisors, hedge fund managers, and maybe even a few of those guys that work at the money tree.
Right.
Hey, also, maybe toss in one or two of those douches from that Duck Dynasty show, too.
Yeah.
No real reason, just because.
Yeah, I used to watch them all the time until I read that they used to be preppy country club members until they got all beardy for their show.
Right.
I saw a picture of them in their white matching tennis outfits, and it really
saw
shook
that
me up,
too.
Spud. I mean, who can we believe in anymore? No matter how much money we make, millions or billions, let's make a pact right here live that we will never pretend we are something we're not.
Okay. I'm not going to lie, though. It's going to be a tough call.
Well, at least you'll be able to hold your head high and not be embarrassed when you run into people who knew you before you made it. Honesty is the best policy, right? Right, Spud? Right?
Okay, this is Spud Goodman. Be all that you can be, and I mean that. God bless and ciao. Once again, here is Shotgun Kitchen.
If Jesus had a gun, you can bet that there'd be one. That's you, nailed up on that hill. Instead of hanging from a cross, he'd show them who was boss. And you know some Roman blood. If someone slapped his cheek, he'd call him out into the street to teach the little freak a lesson. And as he blew him away, you would hear Jesus say, "This Savior is insured by Smith and Wesson, and God's will would be done if Jesus had a gun." All the sinning soon would cease if Christ carried a peace. You do what he told you just because. With one finger on the trigger, he'd point to his bumper sticker that said, "Guns don't kill people, Jesus does." And if the Prince of Peace were packing when that mob started attacking, the good old apostle boys would shout, say an act of contrition and pass the ammunition.
Kill 'em all and let your dad sort 'em out. And God's will would be done if Jesus had a gun.
He'd send a warning to the Muslims and the Hindus and the Jews, and the Catholics and the Mormons and the rest. You better learn to fear the one true God's only
You have just heard a reasonable facsimile of a radio program. If this was not a real radio program, you would have been instructed to go to another website in hopes of finding one. The Spud Goodman Radio Show represents the last line of defense in our ongoing battle to rid the world of generic entertainment. Get involved. Together we can make a difference. The show is written and directed by Spud Goodman, produced by David Brenneman of Rosedale Audio Productions. Original music by Michael Spots and Tom Harmon. Executive producer is Lori Madsen. Our intern is Trent Botello. Live music production and broadcast engineering by On One at the facilities of NWCZ Radio. Check out Spud's TV stuff on YouTube, his radio stuff on iTunes, NWCZ or SpudGoodman.com, and follow Spud on all types of social media. Believe me, he's finally getting the hang of this stuff. Opinions expressed on this show do not reflect those of this station, the sponsors, or any other living being except Spud Goodman. Copyright 2014, Spud Goodman Productions. David Brenneman speaking.
Good call, yo.
Please don't say yo.